guys.
Hi.
I'm Boro, the talking NFT of Fuzion. Nice to see you.
Hi, nice to meet you too as well.
Oh, hi. Bong 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. I'm the talking NFT Boro. We have Chris.
안녕하세요. Hi.
We have Scott.
Hi. Hello.
안녕하세요. Great to see you here. I really enjoy your talks, like your recent Upbit conference. I really enjoyed them.
Thank you.
And the recent one was and we have Ryan, moderator. And Scott is in here too. Yes. And with everyone coming, yeah, the mic is, everything's so far so good. Before we begin the session in 2 minutes, I would like to give a brief Korean introduction to this session. So 이번에 6번째 세션은 What to Collect and What to Create라는 세션입니다. 그래서 서울옥션블루 이정봉 대표님, 눈모모 에이전시의 스콧, 퓨전, 그리고 힉엣눈크의 타이스 코시노, 그리고 모더레이터 레벨나인틴 백범준 프로듀서님 나오셨습니다. Yeah, I'd like to hand the mic to Ryan, because he's the moderator. Yeah, I mean, like, if you're in Busan at this moment, the hype is real. Like, a lot of people have been joining. It's like the conference and the booth have been full of every people. And we wish we could satisfy every other like global meta Busan citizens as well. And thanks for coming. Yeah, the session will start in 1 minute.
Hey guys, I'm having some trouble with my camera, so I'm just going to use my avatar here.
Oh, sure. Does it move?
I wish it moved. That's the next phase, right, of NFTs.
Yeah, I've been also hyped by this mighty product. It's like talking CryptoPunks. Oh, Scott, like, how about logging in with your phone?
Yeah, I can try that.
Sure. You got the link, right?
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, Scott. Long time no see. Yeah, I'm the talking NFT, and if you could remember my voice.
Yeah, just having some difficulties, man. Is it okay if I just use this avatar?
Okay, then we'll have to make you visible. One sec.
Hi. Yeah, just having some difficulties, man. Is it okay if I just use this avatar?
Sure. If it's your non-fungible avatar.
Make you visible.
Hi,
Hi, June.
you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Sorry, I have an issue on my laptop, so I enter. Yeah.
Is it okay if I just use this avatar?
Your non-fungible avatar. Your non-fungible avatar.
Yep.
Visible. Hi, June.
Can we start?
Loud and clear.
Okay.
Yeah, we can start the session right away, but let's just mute our on-air YouTubes because it's the sound like collides. So let's just zoom on.
I got it.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, I turned over.
take your time.
It's
And-
fine. Yeah.
Yep, anytime.
Yeah, okay. Hi. Night for Korean and good morning for Thais. So, can you turn on the audio? Thais? 이정봉 대표님? Okay.
Hi.
Yep. Okay, so let's start. So for my issue, let's begin with the personal questions. First of all, question is going to be with Bong Lee. Okay, so please introduce the specialty of Solouksionbllu and the NFT related service to be launched soon.
Yeah, hi, I'm Bong. I'm with Solouksionbllu. We're actually a content provider, so we act as a CP for other marketplaces. So we work with artists to create and to, I think, to strategize, to discuss and to actually to create the NFTs that the artist intends to express through these medium. We're affiliated to Seoul Auction and Ghana Art, which we've been working intensively with artists in the traditional market. So we also have a artist in residence program that we promote the artists. So we've been trying, I think, for the past several decades of trying to introduce these kind of artists and to explain and to promote, what they're trying to do and what they're trying to express through the traditional medium. And as this new opportunity came, we are still acting as these artists' middlemen and kind of like an agency to help them to express their narrative and their and their theories or whatever they want to express, but through this digital medium. We're a CP, we're a content provider, so we don't have a marketplace. We're not minting, we're not hosting any protocols. We're using other platforms to launch and to introduce these NFTs of the artists that we represent.
Yeah. So Luniverse from NUMOMO, right?
Oh yeah. So at this point, we're probably I think we're trying our best to pull up the day as fast as possible to launch. But the exact date is uncertain at this point. But within this month, probably.
Okay. Well, it's a kind of my personal question, very personal, but do you have considered any events or like a plan in the future, considering that the marketplace, like NFT airdrop or like roadmap?
Yeah, so I think we actually did our first airdrop through upbit.com.
Yeah.
So we work with Ho, and then you get one of these NFTs. You'll get once I think they have some more functions that are readily available. I think in the future, I think of course we're looking into lots of I think strategic ways to introduce the traditional artists' work through this digital medium. I think every artist has a different roadmap, and then every artist has a different way of expressing themselves and etc. So you can definitely we have a Discord room that's I think now it's we're testing it now so far, which you're more than welcome to join. I think it's very everybody can join, but I think through the Discord. We can provide these kind of specific roadmaps and exactly to communicate to these artist communities, what we're trying to do and what we are planning to accomplish in the near future.
Okay, thank you. Okay, then moving on to Scott Fuzion, co-founder of NUMOMO. So Please explain why you founded NUMOMO, which is NFT agency, very unique, and the differentiated direction of NFT agency. So like any or advantage, yeah.
Great, yeah, thanks for having me on, June, and pleasure to be here. NFT, so NUMOMO Creative NFT Agency. We founded it to help organizations, artists, creators, and communities supercharge their brands and careers with NFTs and tokens. We saw that back in the early 2021, late 2020, that there was going to be a strong need for education and curation in this space. And so we've kind of positioned ourselves to work with some of the top artists and creators in crypto art and also non-crypto artists as well. We just finished publishing our first book, and we believe that the future of NFTs is, going to reach far greater industries beyond just art. And so we're focusing our new direction kind of on community and community management agency. So that's a little bit about NUMOMO.
Okay, the next question is, well, you are a co-author of NFT book, NFT Revolution, right? So
yep.
Would you recommend the most impressive chapter of the book?
Yeah, for my part, there were 3 co-authors, Dr. Ralph Halfer, Dr. Sora Song, and my part, I needed to interview, again, some of the top artists in the space. So we interviewed Coldy, Hackatao, Mr. Misang, who else? Illustrator. And we were able to basically make a guidebook for non-crypto, non-NFT collectors and artists and enthusiasts. So my favorite chapter is the chapter I was in charge of, which was interviewing Hackatao and Coldy and Carlos Marcial, Mr. Misang. I thought that was, very enlightening to the point where you start to understand kind of the true value of what NFTs are.
Okay, so are you ready, Taís? Just turn on the audio, please. Yeah, thank you. So I was highly wondering the core value and concept of 힉엣눈크. And by the way, is it right, 힉엣눈크? I'm not sure of pronunciation.
Yeah, it's 힉엣눈크. You pronounce it correctly.
Thank you. Okay, so please explain.
힉엣눈크 is a laboratory of experiments in Tezos blockchain. It is a decentralized application that allows its users to manage decentralized digital assets, such as NFTs, serving as a public smart contract infrastructure on Tezos blockchains, which means that at the platform you can mint and manage your NFTs that we call objects. So you can sell and purchase and also give away. It is a very accessible platform comparing to other platforms that are using more expensive blockchains. And we have a huge community that is mostly artist driven. We have more than 40,000 traders that have already used the platform. There's been over 1 million transactions. And we've just been up since March 1st of this year. And we've seen this huge organic growth. And it's very beautiful to see how the community relates, because we are also an open platform, which means anyone can join. And we also are open source. And there's been major contributions by the community to the platform development.
And one more question. Well, what I understand is you are also a visual artist and a creator, right?
Yeah.
Is there any advantage from sending and working as multiple positions?
That's been really nice to be working on 힉엣눈크 team, because as a female artist, I understand the importance of having a more diverse community, like having more women, BIPOC, LGBTQAI+, non-binary. So I've been working towards this direction in a way to provide more highlight to this kind of artist instead of what we see mostly on the other marketplaces. And I've been able also to realize some projects in partnership with the collective that I'm also part of, like the Diverse NFT. We've done some events, and I also organized and was a mentor at Bong residency. That was an online residency program that was founded by 힉엣눈크.
Okay, thank you. Oh, just a second, please. Oh, sorry. So, change the screen. So, okay. Then let's go with general topics. So 1 or 2 panels will be asked. Then you may voluntarily answer for my questions. So the first one is, what is the recent trend of the NFT or contemporary art scene? Bong Lee or Taís, please.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
I think the trend that we see are obviously all overseas, but it seems like the community of these NFT collectors are becoming probably the most important aspect of I think of strategizing and to make sure that everything sustains. We even us and a lot of the artists and creators, they don't want just to create some NFTs and then sell it and then it kind of go away and then disappear. So everybody's looking for a sustainable project, whether it be fine art. I think there's a vague distinction between fine art NFTs and collectible NFTs. So we're actually focusing more on collectibles, because I think because NFT is just something that you want a lot of people to own, whether it be unique or multiples, and that community will eventually lead to, I think, another narrative or collaborations. So we start with a lot of fine art, traditional fine art artists, but eventually we ended up working with a lot of corporations and a lot of other respected brands to help them because every brand has their own story as well. So I think it's more interesting for the general public to collect not just about a specific artist, but to mix and match some brands and the stories that comes with it. So the trend is there are more collectibles is becoming just more interesting than I think one-on-one editions.
Thank you. And hi, Scott. You turned the video. Hi. Okay. So the next question is, well, this is the most interesting question. What should collectors look for and buy, considering NFT or even fine art? Taís, please, or Scott? Yeah.
On 힉엣눈크, it's very interesting because of its accessibility. We see many artists joining. So we see emergent young artists, which collectors always like because maybe they can purchase like for a small amount, and maybe in the future it will be more valued. And I think that Bong also said something very important that is about the creation of communities. So in 힉엣눈크, it's very nice because artists can also be collectors. I think in the crypto world in general, that's something that's been happening.
Yeah.
So there are like a lot of things happening, and I think you should always be tuned to see what's like the thing to collect. And also I'm an artist, so I also like to defend that you must collect what touches you, the kind of art that affects you inside. So I would like, this is my advice.
So for asking you, I'd like to hear from Scott from the view of collectors.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I guess for myself, I look at first the aesthetic. Aesthetics is very subjective, of course, but I don't think of aesthetics as like, do I like it? I look at the social aesthetics that people are currently talking about on social media, like Twitter, for example, being the main kind of entry point into NFTs and art. And then I look at, if it kind of passes an aesthetic test, then I'll look at the artist's story. Not necessarily the artwork story, but the artist's story itself and the process of how they create artworks, what they're trying to explore, what their message is. And then think, is this story memorable? Is this story something that like is worth retelling and sharing to a friend? Like, would I be happy to show this artwork on my phone or on my computer screen or on my display at home and show this to another friend or family member and be proud of it and be proud of like retelling that story? I think for me, that is those kind of 3 points are what helped me with my kind of collecting thesis in a way to help filter out some of the art that not necessarily is that's not my personal preference, of course, versus my personal preference. I think it's always good to know what you do not like to help you understand what you do like. So hope that helps.
Yeah, it's true. The personal preference is the most important thing when collecting some like collectible or art. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, the next question is, so what's the main difference between NFT and art from the view of producers, but not collectors? So it should be go with Taís, I guess, producer.
NFTs are digital assets. They are like a register of the work of art, right? They are not the work itself. But I do believe that being able to mint my artwork as an NFT gives me the possibility to sell it to a global community. And for my experience, it gives me like possibility to create what I want, put the price that I want, and get the money for it. Since March, I've been working in a project that is called Jardim, and I was able to like really get money from my artwork. That's not very usual, especially in countries from global south, right? It's hard to be an artist, so NFTs, I believe they gave us like the possibility to really make a living out of our art in a way that we want, instead of like working for doing commissions or working for big companies. Now we can really express our desire.
Okay, just a second. Yep. On YouTube chat, Romano said it's not just about a story, it's a lot more. So thanks for your feedback. Okay, then let's go to the next question. So, how NFT and artworks provided utility to collectors in a practical way? Well, I think this question should be going with Bong.
Yeah, I think it's a very tricky question
Yeah.
use, because I think if you ask that kind of question, then you have to ask, why do people collect Picassos? Why do they collect Kusamas and etc.? So is there a utility in collecting those kind of I think more of a passionate, emotionally driven collectibles? But I think with the art NFTs, I think it implies the same thing. If people are not specifically looking for what to do with it, but it's just their own personal, I think like a reflection of your identity. I think your collection is a reflection of your identity. So I think you're just satisfied of what you have. Although I think in the roadmap of all these kind of NFT projects that are coming up and that have been done before, in a sense of utility, you do have to provide some kind of ongoing projects within the project. So you can't just sell memes of random dogs, right? And then you kind of leave it like that. I think you have to keep on creating another project within it, so it creates some kind of more of a not in terms of monetary value, but in terms of intrinsic meaning and value of it. There has to be a continuation of that narrative and that theory that they're trying to express. So utility ways, you can put in a game and then probably put some kind of DeFi model into it and then get another NFT and so on. But I think innately they're just not really for any other specific function unless you make it so. But I think important that you do need to keep on adding utility features to it.
Thank you for your response. Despite a quite tricky question, I totally agree with that. And the main point you mentioned is reflection of identity. Yeah, I agree with that. That's the point. Okay. And so well, I give this question to Scott. So, well, as a co-founder of NFT agency, how do you expect the growth of either market by 2030? Either means just fine arts market or NFT market.
Can you clarify that question one more time, please?
Oh, sorry. So, how do you expect the growth of NFT market by 2030? Like a decade later, yeah.
Okay, so how do I expect the growth of the NFT market by 2023? By next year, you mean? Or
a decade later, 2030.
2030. So
yeah,
predicting the future. Okay.
Yeah, in the
future. Let's see here. So for example, I would look at the data first, right? OpenSea did a few $1 billion of revenue over the course of like August, September, October. You have Super Rare decentralizing their platform by giving out tokens to the artists and collectors who used it. You now have larger brands like Coinbase, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all coming into this space, looking at how to create NFTs. You have Justin Blau's Royal Music Company. So I'm just putting a list in my head to illustrate this idea that as more and more businesses grow, as our world becomes more digital, as we continue to build communities that are borderless and revolve around the culture, as in like different subcultures. For example, if you like music, right, there's going to be subculture for K-pop, hip hop, right? But then you can even divide that into what kind of hip hop, right? You have, Korean hip hop, you have American hip hop. As for art, right, you have 3D artists, but then within 3D art, you have animators, you have illustrators, you have storytellers. And so I guess by 2030, I imagine NFTs will be similar to like an MP3. People will just talk about NFTs in a way that we reference like MP3s or video files or music files. It's just going to be connected. Everything that we create digitally will have a token or an NFT connected to it. That's what I think in the future.
Yeah. Thank you. And yeah, okay, I guess. Yeah, music, sports, well, arts, all kinds of industries are getting into the NFT market. So yeah, it will grow, I guess. Yeah. Okay, we are coming to an end. So the last question is, please kindly introduce or recommend the hidden gem you've considered. Like it can be any artist, project, or site, like location or artwork. So this is an open question. So any volunteer? Bonnie, please. Or it's called. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
Please go ahead.
No, I was gonna say ladies first. I was gonna say,
okay, ladies first.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, thank you.
Like I said before, in 힉엣눈크 we have many people doing art all the time. So I believe there are so many hidden gems that I don't even know because it's impossible to keep up. I have to accept that. But I will shout out for some of artists that I've been like following and having conversations with. First is Estelle Flores. She's doing like an amazing series with paintings created inside the Sims games. The Sims game is like really amazing. Also, there is another artist from Brazil that's called Marisa Noana. She's an illustrator. She does comics and animations. And also an amazing artist from Malaysia that it's on 힉엣눈크. It's Mon HNZ or Mumu Destam. She works also with illustration and pixel art. And there's also Saishimi. She is like she works with nail art. So it's very interesting to see how her research translates into NFTs.
Okay, thank you. Okay, then Bonnie, please. Can you? Okay.
Yeah. So I think like she said, there's so many projects with so many ideas. But the one I actually like, but I didn't contribute, but there's a thing called Mechaverse. So robots with and they have a lot of other variations coming up, which I didn't contribute at all. I just looked at the project and I thought it was pretty fun. The lady's long neck, that was pretty funny, I think. But I think mostly specifically for the Korean market, we're just starting over here, and then you're going to see a lot of platforms launch, and then every platform has their hidden gems that they're going to launch in Korea, probably all within this year, and I think a lot of these platforms in Korea who are planning to launch are very deeply involved with a lot of other major brands, whether it be local or international. And even us, we're planning a lot of fun projects. The other projects that we also know, which obviously because they didn't open yet, but everybody has a really fun, interesting projects coming up specifically for Korea. So I think it's a good time to try to keep up with what's going to happen in the next few weeks. Just in Korea is enough. I think it's alone is good enough for now.
Oh, I'm interested, Bong. I'm curious what you got going. I guess for us, it's the hidden gems would be looking at the collabs that are going to come to Korea. Currently working with some top art and design studios here to pair them up with some kind of heavy hitters within the OG crypto art market to help kind of bring a real world, real experience back into the art field within Korea, and then branching out from there. We think Korea is kind of like the culture capital of Asia, and so we are really excited to start, building out art experiences that can be experienced both in the metaverse, but then also in real life. So that's what we got going on for 2022.
Thank you. So, so the time is up, and I do appreciate all panelists participate in this session. And okay, so time's up. Thanks for having me, and good night for everyone. I guess one day we'll meet in person in the future. I hope that. So we are now end. So for technical issue, and so this is an end. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
감사합니다, 스쿼드. 정국 대표님 감사합니다.
Thank you,
Thank you
everyone,
for
for
Taís.
session. Yeah, it's off. Yeah, we're off to go, and we'll be preparing for the